Mic on. Welcome to
Keto Beyond the
I'm trying
Couch.
to think of the episode. Keto Beyond the Couch, episode 239.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are
tired
crazy ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome.
Yes, welcome. If you are new here, please say hi in the comments.
Now, here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week. So make sure you subscribe to our channel. I'm reading the comments.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single time we weary, but we hear, you'll be alerted to it. It is.
I threw my food on the floor.
Beautiful. I was like, you are done. Like, he was trying to pop the pancakes out of their silicone molds, and I'm like, and it's like 2, 1.
That means 25 more seconds.
Oh my gracious. So we got home yesterday from Ketopalooza. I'm surprised you're not wearing your hat. I'd laid your visor out because I knew you were like obsessed about your visor.
I'm in the advisory committee.
There'll be no living with him.
There's actually a few
from now
of us.
on.
There's a few of us now.
That's now on the advisory committee for Ketopalooza.
Like Tanya and Brianna. Yeah, there's a few of us now. So that means there's going to have to be a Ketopalooza 2024.
I'm sorry to Brianna and Tanya and everybody on the advisory committee that like you're going to be that guy that's like you're voting on something and you're holding out on.
Yeah, because now we have a quorum. So we can vote. We can override Autumn because we're the advisory committee.
Thankfully,
and we're supposed to advise Autumn on Ketopalooza.
That nobody
Autumn only gets 1 vote.
Can be more decisive. Like, we're talking about decisiveness this month for our Two Crazy Ketos Fight Club focus. She is awesome. Nobody moves a conference along, sticks to the schedule, gets everything in like Autumn. It was an amazing time. We loved getting to visit with everybody there. And I just wanted to say, if you came out to Ketopalooza, we saw you. We saw you making the effort to friend. And when Autumn was giving out trophies, I was thinking to myself, I would like to give out trophies for effort, like people putting themselves out there. And I was like, a lot of times don't like display a trophy, or I don't have a lot of trophy for athletic things, let's be honest. But I think of my mug as a trophy. I like treat myself, sometimes to a pretty mug when I see a mug. And so here's what I suggest, Joe. Are you ready for this? You got to look at me because I'm about to bring you into something here, okay?
Okay.
From now on, when people are doing something cheer-worthy, I want to reward them by mugging them.
I like that.
Let's mug them. So if you have a non-scale victory you'd like to share, if you have a scale victory you'd like to share.
You can't start that now. I don't have a graphic. I need to create a mug graphic.
We're mugging you. So the first Two Crazy Ketos mugging goes to all of the people who came out to Ketopalooza and who were scared. And they did it in the midst of the fear, right? Like, if you think that you're not going to be afraid trying something new, that's an unreasonable expectation, right? It's going to be challenging to put yourself out there, but you did it. And I hope everybody had a fantastic time. I know I did. I thought there was just fun to be had at every turn.
So, I did want to just mention, since you brought this up, that we saw you.
Yeah.
There was a comment in one of our groups that we didn't say hello to somebody.
I think maybe they didn't say hello to us.
Yeah. Now, I will 100% admit, Rachel has what she calls, I have what Rachel calls a resting mean face.
You do have an RMF.
An RMF?
Yes.
Okay. And but I love being at conferences, and we've said this going into Ketopalooza in every conference.
Yeah.
I don't know how to people. I've gotten a lot better. You should have seen me a couple years ago. I'm nervous. I'm really truly am an introvert. I was talking to someone about the fact that generally when somebody has been picked on their whole life and they were obese, you go one of two ways. You become an introvert and like a recluse and you don't leave your house and you don't talk to people, or you become the social butterfly. I'm the recluse.
Social butterfly.
Right. Rachel is like the jokester, right? She's the
so-
class clown.
I just absolutely thrive on human contact.
Right.
Like I love, and I'm a toucher. I mean, not like, inappropriately, but like I'm a hugger. Like I like to be touched. I like to touch people. Like, and some people don't like that.
Right.
That's not their cup of tea. Maybe Joe would be more of your cup of tea.
So what I was just pulling up so we can do our giveaway.
Yeah. That was another thing at Ketopalooza.
Well, let me finish.
Weren't you so humbled by the lines of
sold
people to try our brand new flavor of Keto Chow butterscotch?
It sold out in like an hour.
Thank you, guys.
So now, since you're bringing that up and you're interrupting my thoughts.
Sorry about that.
The Keto Chow butterscotch, I believe there's only like 25% left. So that whole crisp, it's going to last for a while. It doesn't look like it's going to.
Out the window.
So if you are looking to get butterscotch Keto Chow, the flavor that we developed, you might want to use the link down below and go order it.
Get
I
it
think it's
while
limited
it's there.
to 21.
Yeah.
Because like it's just going down and down and down and down and down. So
yeah.
It's just a little thing. So anyway, if you approached me, I hugged you, I talked to you, but you do usually have to approach me.
Sorry about that.
Now, once I get to know somebody, you're going to be like, can you please go away? I thought you were like a recluse.
Right. Stop talking to me for 45 minutes straight.
But like, I just, when I don't know somebody, like, and a perfect, like, I need events like Autumn's more than people think I do, because, for example, you go in Friday night for the game night, right? The welcome to Ketopalooza, we walk in, Rachel sits down at the table, there's no seats left for me. Now, this is before she started the game, so my answer now is I have to go find a table with people I know. I can't sit at a table with people I don't know.
Because you're afraid they won't like you.
Because I'm afraid they won't like me. And they won't talk to me. And then I'm going to feel like an idiot because I'm sitting there and nobody's talking to me and everybody else is talking. So I go find a table. Now, Autumn sets it up. You now
can't stay
have
there
to talk to somebody.
for long.
But I want you to know, like, if we didn't talk to you, it was probably because you didn't approach us. I mean, people, yes, come up and talk to us. And sometimes you have to go, hey, can I say hello? Can I have a picture?
Just shake me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just wanted to say that. We're going to get into Keto Beyond the Couch. We are going to pick the winners for the butterscotch a little bit later on in today's live stream.
We have to pick 3 winners or
three
4?
winners.
Three
winners or no? 4
No,
winners.
it's 4 winners.
4 winners.
So there's going to be 4 winners.
So if you haven't done that,
winning
you
2
might want to
packages.
run over real quick to the Harry Potter Butterbeer video and leave a comment because that's where we're going to pick the winners. 4 winners, 2 packets. Each winner. Right now, we're going to get into Keto Beyond the Couch. If you are new here, Keto Beyond the Couch is all about subscribers. We love to celebrate wins. We like to highlight success stories and answer questions and comments from the last week.
So, speaking of when you were talking about like, hey, let us know if you need us for something, Zanetta reached out and said, hey, it is my birthday today, and I would love to have someone sing happy birthday for my birthday. So here goes. You ready to sing happy birthday to Zanetta?
Yes.
Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zanetta. Happy birthday to you and many more. So many more.
By the way,
I'm a little horsey.
The shirt, shout out to Ketopalooza 2021.
Yes.
When we went to the Louisville Slugger Museum,
Yes.
and I bought this shirt, and Rachel said, you can't wear that shirt. I'm going to wear the shirt. Because Ketopalooza. Like, it's
all
about the only
the
time
wood.
I'm allowed to wear this shirt is, like, when we're going to Louisville or, like, for Ketopalooza.
When you just came back from it.
Then people get it.
It's in
'cause
context.
It's all about the wood, meaning Louisville Slugger wood baseball
So
bats.
everybody look
So it's not
forward-
a dirty shirt.
Look forward to seeing Joe in this shirt the
Next
rest of
year.
the week. Well, this the rest of the week. Like, he's going to be riding the fumes of it for a while.
Okay, we are going to jump in to our Keto Beyond the Couch. We're going to start off with, before we do, I forgot about this. Really important. there's still a few cabins left for the 2KK Getaway Cruise.
Yes.
So the 2KK Getaway Cruise, it's Sail Away with 2KK, is January 8th through the 12th. No speakers, no keto police, just friendship. We're going to hang out. Rachel has been preparing all kinds of games. She spent the entire flight figuring out scavenger hunts, mostly for like at the one at sea day, maybe in the evening when we're all sitting and talking and stuff like that. But it's kind of like hang out, not mandatory. You can go do your own excursions.
Sure.
There's no speakers. It's just a chance for everybody to kind of hang out for a few days. We're going to do another one towards the end of next year. For a longer one, I'm working on a date right now.
There is in Mighty Networks, there's a whole section.
A 2KK cruise section. Now, you don't have to be going on the cruise to join that, but it is for cruise talk. So in there, we're going to post suggestions for the cruise, updates. I'm going to put in some hotels in Fort Lauderdale later on today. And then they'll be the first place where we'll announce the dates for the one we're going to do in the fall. But there's a few cabins left. You have 3 days left.
Yeah.
Okay. And then after that, I have two choices. I give the cabins back to Royal Caribbean, or I have to put a deposit on every cabin that we're going to hold on to.
Right.
And I can't afford to do that.
Yeah. So they're going to have to go back in 3 days.
We have 3 days left, and then the final payment for those of you who are going is on October 25th, and I'll send out things by that. But we're super excited because we didn't think we could get 16 people, and there's 41 people right now.
41 people going.
Also, there's a lady looking for a roommate. She's got an ocean view, a cabin, not a balcony, an ocean view. She's looking for a roommate. To split the cost. You know, you might even be able to convince her to upgrade to a balcony because it's only like $100 more. And also Joe down here in Pembroke Pines, he is looking for a cabin mate. He'd like to go. He's looking for a cabin mate, and he would prefer an interior cabin. And again, the rates and everything are on that link. I'll actually put that link.
So if you're interested and you're thinking, well, and up until this time you thought, well, I can't go because it's just me. Whether you're a girl or a boy, there's somebody that's looking for a cabin mate, which is really cool.
Now, I did want to say, with the cabin thing, if you decide to cruise solo, you save about $130 because you don't have to pay taxes.
Right.
So if the price of the cabin is like $1,200 on the outside balcony, it's about $130 cheaper because you are traveling alone.
Oh my gosh, I see Tanya's here this morning. I was dying at the photo that you took, Tanya, on the walk yesterday. There was like this chicken sculpture, and the chicken mouth was like clearly like squawking. It was like a squawking thing, and she's got a look on her face in the picture that's like, oh my gosh, like stop yelling at me, chicken. And it is like hilarious. It was so good. I was like, how did I miss that photo op? It was so fun.
So we're going to jump right into our Keto College Adjunct Professor of the Week. This week it is one from Jessica.
Hey, Jessica.
Jessica said, I borrowed this from another group, but it is 100% accurate for a lot of us after feeling better because of our food choices. Eating better got easier when I can't have the, turned into I don't want that.
Yeah, I mean, we are getting healthy every single day. And it is by the choices that we are making. Like, I am choosing to eat meat. I am choosing to eat this steak or this hamburger because the vitamins and the nutrients and the minerals are nourishing my body and not robbing life from me. But it is my choice. And it's funny when we're like, I have to eat this hamburger. Why don't you say at the same time, like, I have to get well? Like, right? Like that, like this is being imposed upon you is wellness and nourishment. That's like crazy. We have to change our mindset.
Yep. Okay, first subscriber of the week is Amanda.
Hey, Amanda.
Amanda said, I have not shared much lately. 2023 has proven to be a tough one. In February, my husband Robert was diagnosed with esophageal cancer. On June 12th, he underwent
They removed it.
They removed it. At surgery, it was discovered the cancer moved to his lymph nodes. In August, he began 6 weeks straight of radiation with chemotherapy. On September 12th, he rang the bell with a smile on his face and tears in his eyes. And now we have to march on. I'm so thankful for this community. While I was not sharing a lot, I was reading your stories. You're smiling, laughing, and cheering you on. Robert and I will be joining those of you on the cruise in January, and I'm looking forward to meeting you and celebrating life with you.
Oh, wow. Well, we cannot wait to see you guys on this friendship. And that's really what it is. And what a privilege it is to do life together. And in life, we share the good stuff and we share the hard stuff. We share it together as a family. And I am so glad that we get to cruise together in this boat together and our ship together, and I'm really looking forward to that. But thank you for sharing that. And you know, a lot of times when you share something that's just here's something beautiful I saw, or here's something good that I focused on, or this is a win, you don't know who also needs to see that today. So don't be afraid to share. If you're on the fence about sharing something beautiful, get off that fence, share it, because we all need to see it.
Okay, the next one we have is from Stacy.
Hey, Stacy.
I was reflecting today about how my PMS symptoms have changed by me changing my way of eating. When I used to eat the standard American diet, I'd be saddled down with nasty cramps, mood swings, and ate all the processed things when my lady days came around. Then I deal with bloating and lethargy on top of the myriad of typical PCOS symptoms. Compare it to now, when I still may crave junk food, but I'm able to stay away and enjoy eating things like bacon and steak and feel better overall. That is a non-scale win for sure.
It sure is. Oh, Stacy, you look fantastic, but better feeling in control of your body. That is what is so important, because yes, there were so many like weeks of my lady life that I just felt robbed from me. Like I felt like I was out of control in what I put in my mouth, and I was out of control in what was coming out of my mouth, right? Like I just felt mean and upset and frustrated. And, you know, even in transitioning into menopause, keto has made it better. It has made it easier, to the point where I didn't realize that I had gone from perimenopause to full-blown menopause. Yeah. And I think that that would have been a very different situation if it hadn't been for keto based on my previous cycle attitude. Joe's thankful for it too as well.
Very much. Next one is from Happy Hiker.
Hey, Happy Hiker.
Fake it till you make it. That's my motto. That's been my motto for a lot of my adult life. The pic on the left, 10/5/18, exactly 5 years ago. My before was from a goal that took 30 years to fulfill. Hiking the Inca Trail. It's based on dating a Peruvian guy in college.
Wow.
I weighed 240 and I barely finished, but I pretended I was a hiker, so I was.
That's good.
The pic on the right is from last year's vacation in Canada, approximately 155. I had COVID in the pic and I didn't know it yet. This is why I keto, not the scale. Of course, I'd like to lose a bit more, but today I celebrate not being the girl on the left.
That is so good. Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for sharing that. And that's it. You know, you're right. There is an entire background to the girl on the left. There's a background to the boy on the left, right? Like, because the person on the left not only looks a certain way, but they're sort of trapped in limited activity as well. Like what my before picture, what that person was able to physically do, not just physically fit into, but physically do, is very different than my after. And I love that. Like just that there's a picture of you and you've had amazing change in your body, but you have a whole different ability, which is magical.
Dawn does keto. I wanted to address this real quick. Says, good morning, family. As always, wanting to say hello. Wish I could stay and chat, but I hope you have an amazing Monday. Hopefully she's still in here or she watches this later. Dawn, I need a favor. I need the full video
No, you
that
don't.
you posted in Facebook
No.
of Rachel acting like a crazy lunatic dancing.
He
Because
doesn't need that.
we want to put that in a video.
No.
Or Joe wants to put that in a video. And since Joe creates the videos, Rachel has no choice. So you guys definitely are going to want to be subscribed to the channel and hit that bell button to be notified when the video, probably later this week, I have 2 other vlogs that have to come out first, of Ketopalooza comes out, because Rachel acted like an idiot.
Wow.
And several people got it on camera. And I'm going to leave it at that. We don't want to tell
I
them
have
what's
no
in
video
it.
footage of this.
I have several videos that have been sent to me.
I want to say
with multiple angles.
I want to say, Dawn, don't do it. However, I totally had an entire ballroom sing happy birthday to her yesterday, so probably that was slightly embarrassing. So I may not have a lot of traction right now.
Lolo Ketopalooza 2024 campaign.
Yay!
Yes, everybody start
So
bombarding
good to see you there.
Autumn Ketopalooza 2024 and offer to pay for it now if she starts it now, because that's the big thing. Listen, we say all the time, I will not host a conference because I don't have the patience for it. I don't have the ability to be Autumn, and Autumn is like
no
the
one
bar.
does.
Autumn is the bar.
It's like if you can't
do
be
it like
Autumn,
like I don't want to do it. But the thing is, it is a big financial risk. It is a huge financial risk.
It's a lot for her.
And most people who host conferences lose money, and that's the reason that she doesn't ever want to have one next year, because she's like, I'm tired of losing money. And she was like, we need 300 people to not lose money. Well, this year we got 300 people. But if we want it next year, we're going to have to make sure we get 300 people. So
let's do that thing.
So we need to really encourage
Actually, like, how many of you, like, give us a cartwheel in the chat, feel like...
Pat said you weren't acting like an idiot. You were loving Ketopalooza.
Ah, thank you, Pat. How many people who went to Ketopalooza was sitting in some aspect of it? Either you were going on the walk, or you were playing the game, or you were listening to a speaker, and you thought to yourself, I wish my friend blank was here, or I bet my blank would absolutely love coming to Ketopalooza. They would have really enjoyed themselves. Put a cartwheel in the chat if you thought, man, there's somebody I could invite next year to go with me, because I've already gone and vetted this place. Like, I've already gone and said, okay, Rachel and Joe said this would be fun, and now I'm going to see if they weren't lying. We weren't lying. It was a lot of fun. And if you think it was a lot of fun, then bring somebody with you next year who could use some community.
Dawn said at Ketopalooza next year, we could have 2 KK mugs to pass out to people using putting themselves out there.
I love it.
You guys. I really like it.
I love that
idea. Let's take a quick fade to black and then come back with comments.
I have to unpack too. That's just the thought of that. And I didn't do any laundry. The first thing in the door of our Airbnb was a washer and dryer, and I just didn't do any of our laundry. So I have like an entire suitcase of filth.
At least we had a spare suitcase for it.
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks for that.
I'll read that one, I bet. Okay, let's move in. I've got some tearjerker slides.
Oh, no.
Just to let you know. First one is from Larry.
Hey.
Larry said, Joe, I can totally relate to seeing one's self bigger than you actually are. That's something I talked about at Ketopalooza. It's a battle I too struggle with almost daily. Yes, I am still a big dude. However, not anywhere close to what I was 6 years ago.
I love it.
Thank you both once again for giving us a platform to share our own personal journey. I, like you two, believe that by sharing our non-scale victories and our struggles, we give inspiration to others. We are doing life within the keto community.
That is so true. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, I feel like our purpose is to help facilitate and connect you to community. We like going out and seeing those places and seeing those opportunities where people could connect. I love when you even find a channel that you like through us, because we introduce this person to you. And I definitely love seeing the friendships that are made because we've been a part of your life. Like, just to know that, hey, because we said go to this place, you met your friend there. Knowing that we can facilitate that, it makes us feel like we're kind of like a keto community center, and we can, and I love being like activities director, and we can just help you find opportunities to share your story and to meet one another. I think that is just, it's precious.
I do have to say this about Ketopalooza. I just thought of it. I actually was thinking about it this morning, and I know we've moved on, but I have to say this. Note to self.
Yes.
Whenever you go to conferences, at all cost, avoid Shauna, Air Frying Auntie, and Sharon Holloway.
Yes.
Because Shauna and Sharon, I mean, and it's kind of a joke.
It's very much a joke.
Shauna and Sharon spent I don't know how many hours
creating most
keto chow fudge.
Incredible
and
fudge.
Every time I saw, especially Sharon, she's like, Joe. And I'm like, yes, please. I mean, yesterday morning, she had like every flavor laid across the table.
And you tried every flavor.
For everybody.
That was so generous.
And it was so awesome. But the amount of fudge that I ate yesterday is like insane. And then like on Saturday night, she gave me something. She's like, take 2 for Rachel. And I had to put them in a cup. And she's like, did you give Rachel your? No, I ate them. Like,
I did not even get to taste it.
Well, no, you got the 2 that I brought you back to the house.
But the ones that she intended for me.
No, I had to go back and get more. So, and then yesterday at breakfast, she had him out, and Jonathan Shane, the Keto Road.
Yes.
He came over, and he was like, oh my gosh. And he's like eating every one of them.
And you're like.
And the best one, I think, was the gingerbread. I mean, I liked them all, but gingerbread was just like out of this world. Like, I want to do that with chai tea latte.
Yeah, if you were at Ketopalooza,
thank you for the fight. I mean, it's a bit of a joke, but.
If you tried their fudge that they had brought, leave in the comments what was your favorite flavor, because they were so creative with it. It was just amazing.
It's actually based off of the recipes on the Keto Chow website. So if you use our link down below and then you go to the Keto Chow website and search for, I think it's banana fudge, that's the recipe. It was just really, really, really
What
good.
they did that was so good, that was helpful though, was they cut it into
serving sizes.
Appropriate serving sizes. And if I will be diligent with that at the house, I will be more reasonable with it, right? Like, I mean, that's what's needed.
Joe said, I haven't found a roommate for the cruise. What should I do in the sign-up form? Put on the sign-up form. Just sign up and put on the below looking for a roommate. Let me know if you want me to book the room as a solo, if you want to, and then we can find a roommate, or just let me know. You have my phone number, Joe. Just text me.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Next one's from Bags of Love.
Hey.
I do not comment much, but I have to say this was an excellent video. This is last week's Keto Beyond the Couch.
Okay.
I must have teared up at least 2 times when you both give it your all. You can tell you really want to help people. I've been Ketovore, Carnivore off and on for about 5 years. I used to weigh 225 pounds. I'm now 190. My history of liver cancer and type 2 diabetes.
Wow.
I've been binge watching your videos, and which really helped me to stay on keto. God bless you both.
Well, thank you so much for letting us be a part of your day. Like, I know we are very humbled by anybody that watches our videos, because I know there's so much you could be watching. There's so many places that you could be investing your time, and you keep us going knowing that we can bring some value to your life. That's what we want to do. We want to bless your life and be an encouragement, and we love interacting with you. So thank you for talking with us.
Next one from SD Bradley.
Joe, I agree that cheat days or cheat meals are a bad idea because it just keeps going to escalate from there. You're absolutely right.
We were talking about this at breakfast yesterday. I was sitting around and talking to people, and we were just talking about the whole idea of, like, some people, Rachel likes to call it, like, you know, can you do you have to abstain, or can you
if you're a moderator or
right?
An abstainer? And
for me, my thing is like, I am not special. Well, I am special, but not in that way. I'm not special. I'm not unique in the fact that, like, people say, you guys really have never gone off of keto for 5 or 6 years. Like, that is so awesome. We haven't had pasta, grain, sugar, carbs, any of that stuff in 6 years. That is true. But not because we're awesome. But for me, at least, it's because I'm afraid to eat it.
It's almost like it's to the degree that we're not awesome,
Right.
we don't eat it. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, think about anything that you're doing. Like, so if you're like, I am afraid of, frogs. So you don't see me hanging around frogs because I'm avoiding that thing which is going to bring me stress. Now, is it possible that a frog that I, get near a frog and it doesn't jump on me? Yeah, there's a chance that it just stays where it's at and I can stay where I'm at and we can stay separate, but I don't want to risk that. It's, it's enough of a thing I don't want to risk that I stay away from it. And it's the same thing with interacting with non-keto food. Is there a chance that we at this point could dip in and dip out of something like a potato chip or candy? I'm not sure, but I'm not willing to risk that ingredient is going to jump on me and attach itself for longer than I choose it to.
Right. Listen, we've healed our metabolism. For the most part. Me, I'm still battling with a sleep issue. It's something I discussed a lot this weekend. It's hard because I know sleep is very important, and it's the one thing I can't get a handle on for a lot of different reasons. Number one, I'm busy. Number two, I have issues that keep me up at night. But when it comes to our food, I know metabolically that I could dip in and have some carbs. I could have a sweet potato. I could have a piece of sourdough bread. I'm not talking about sugar. Like, I don't even have a desire for sugar. I don't have a desire to eat Oreos and
It's more like
Hershey
savory
bars.
side.
And it's not even that I have a desire to eat the carbs, but I know that metabolically I could dip in and have a sweet potato, have some French fries or something like that, and bounce right back out. I don't think I could do it mentally. I don't know. Like, listen, one of my gyms, and I've talked to even Miriam about this. I loved Five Guys fries. Absolutely loved it. Like, I didn't even want the burger. I just wanted the fries. And there was a time a couple of years ago where I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll just have some fries for my birthday. It's fries, right? It's not sugar. I'm not going to have a birthday cake. Maybe I'll just have some French fries. And then I looked up the carbohydrates in that, and it's worse than eating a pizza. But I really started thinking about, like, I feel like there's a good chance if I ate those French fries, I'm going to want them tomorrow. And then that's where the cheat day meal becomes the cheat day. And so for me, and this is what I suggest to most of us, because most of us are addicts, is that we just avoid it forever. That's just my personal opinion. Is that we just don't ever have a cheat day or a cheat meal with something that is within your keto lifestyle.
Well,
eat a bigger steak.
So last night we got home and I just ate way more than I normally would eat in a sitting. But after all that travel, and I don't know, my heart was so full and I felt like voraciously hungry. But you listened
to your body.
But I listened to my body and I ate I think I ate 3 bags of even Carnivore chips.
You ate Carnivore chips. I had
bacon.
One of those big packages of the chicken breast meat from Costco.
Yeah.
I ate like a third of one of them. And we also split a butterscotch creamy.
So I think that there's times where it's like maybe you treat yourself to a special place, a more expensive or lavish cut of meat. You treat yourself to variety within hey, I've never tried this before, this meat, and so I'm going to have a little culinary adventure as a reward. Or maybe you just expand the amount that you usually make for yourself, right? So there's ways to treat yourself without it being I need to go off the rails and regret something.
Yep. Next one's from Mama Cat.
Hey, Mama Cat.
My birthday is October 21st. That's next week. But there are no meetups here in Colorado. I'm going to make my family spoil me with steak.
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea. But I put this up to call her out.
Ooh.
And that if there's no meetups in Colorado, the solution is...
Have a meetup. In Colorado.
The meetup doesn't have to cost you a penny.
No.
Right? The meetup could be, we're going to have, bring your own steak, bring your own food at a local park, at your house, at somebody else's house, at a community center. It could be, hey, let's get together and play cards. It could be everybody, like what Sarah does. Hey, like, let's once a month, let's all meet at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Right.
Right? Hey, Tuesdays, buy one, get one. Buffalo Wild Wings. That's a great opportunity. So if there's not a meetup in your area, put it out. There are definitely other people in Colorado who do keto. There are definitely other people, and this is not just to Mama Cat. This is to everybody. Have a meetup.
Well, I was going to say, if you went to Ketopalooza while the community feeling is still fresh in your heart, right? Like while the pen ink hasn't even dried on your notes from your conference yet, post a picture of yourself in our Mighty Networks and say like, hi, I was at Ketopalooza. I live in the South Florida area, or I live in the Eastern Wisconsin area, or something to that effect. And I would love to grab coffee with somebody, go mini golfing, go to a park, walk in at the mall, something like that. Let somebody know that you're available. This is the kind of area that you live in, that you would be willing to go hang out if someone would like to hang out.
Next one we have is Master EP.
Both of you are so awesome for sharing about your self-images, as I really appreciate it. I'm still on my journey of becoming normal for the first time in my 58-year life, and many of my childhood friends understand I still see myself as the biggest person in the building, even after 3 years after losing 216 pounds. It's hard to change my thinking. Clothing stores, event t-shirts, restaurant booths, airplane restrooms, rides, and small rental cars all give me stress. I'm a 34-inch waist, large shirt with visible muscles, and I have even ran 2 marathons, but I still move like I'm huge. Thank you for sharing your very personal thoughts that only people who have lived a full lifetime with a BMI of 60 plus would have. After having broken more chairs, split pants, fallen down hills, got rejected from riding amusement rides, I know it will take as long as it takes to change my head about the new me. Losing pounds was easy compared to all those post challenges. Bless you both. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that, because it's good to know that we're not alone. But yes, part of the reason why, and I was sharing this with somebody yesterday, part of the reason why I enjoy humor and like really developed a love and embrace for it was kind of protective, which I think a lot of comedians kind of do this, right? And it is, I was always trying to formulate what I was going to say to make fun of myself first before someone else, before you got a chance to make fun of me. I was going to make fun of me.
Right.
I was going to have, you were maybe somebody I thought was going to anticipate they would have the last laugh on me. So I was going to have the first laugh on me.
Right.
So as much as it's like, wow, that's really nice that you enjoy, laughter, it was born from protection, like protecting yourself and how I saw myself. So transitioning it and saying like, I don't want to tell jokes or be humorous because I want to make fun of myself. I want to make somebody else laugh and enjoy life and point to a joy, something truly joyful to have eyes on.
Next one is from Hope.
Hey, Hope.
Thank you for the great live. I had to watch the replay. I can't believe that everyone who watches doesn't subscribe.
Aw.
What's with people not hitting the like button? Yes,
That's
what's
what I'm
with
talking
not
about.
hitting the like button? And please do us a favor. If you are not subscribed to our channel, please right now head down below. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. 70% of the people who watch our videos are not subscribed. So please subscribe. Please hit the like button while you're there.
Out.
Hit the little bell button so that you're notified when we upload new videos, because as we said last week,
Isn't it?
Next, as soon as we get to 100,000 subscribers, the next time that we have, which there'll be one next year, so it could be next year.
Yeah, if it takes us that long.
Is the next time we have a 2KK Getaway Cruise, because I think we're gonna make this a regular thing. We're going to give away a cruise when we hit 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
So how do we do that? Y'all share our videos, like, comment, do all that stuff, engage, go home, take our playlist. There's almost 2,000 videos. Just hit it and let it run while you're out at work. Like just that, because that's engagement. YouTube wants you to stay on YouTube. So And if you stay on YouTube and just watch all 1,500 videos of Two Crazy Ketos, they'll recommend us. And then we'll get 100,000 subscribers and we can give away a free cruise. But right now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick fade to black.
That is not what we intend to do as soon as we hit 100,000 subscribers. Be like, thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
See you later. No. We will make more videos.
Okay, so let's move into, you know what? Let's go ahead and give our...
My eyes look really puffy today.
Let's go over and...
I look like I just
pick
woke
our
up.
winners.
Pick a winner.
So we're going to give away...
2
packs to 4 people.
Yes, we are.
Okay, ready?
2 times 4 is 8.
Because then hopefully these people will actually see this and respond.
Yes.
Ready?
Dun, 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 dun.
Anything goes.
Anything goes. That's kind of my motto. I feel like that should probably be my little theme song.
It paused. It keeps pausing. I'm like, there's no way. There's only 102.
Yeah, it's like, and then speaking of things that are like scrolling up, we're hoping that
495 comments.
the money we
Unique
raise
comments.
for 11 on 11 will scroll on up. So this Veterans Day, we're going to live stream
right now.
for 11 on 11. We're going to live stream on November 11th for 11 hours.
Can we pick this winner?
Yes.
Okay, ready? Pick a winner.
Oh,
Siobhan!
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Siobhan Friedgood. I'm going to have to get used to that last name now that she's married.
Guess what? Because Siobhan is like also a Two Crazy Ketos kind of like insider and a Keto Chow insider, we're going to pick a 5th one.
Okay, that
So we're
sounds
going to
good.
send one to Siobhan, but then also...
We'll get another person.
One. Ready?
Yeah.
Serena
in. So here's what this is what you're going to do. You're going to send a email to joe@twocrazyketos.com with your shipping information, and we'll get these 2 packages of butterscotch sent out to you right away.
And rice.
Same for you. Make sure you send Joe a message. Next one is Lorelei. Lorelei, that's a beautiful name. Lorelei Lundell.
That's
How
4,
beautiful.
right? We're going to go one more.
Yes, one more. Jazzy. All right, you guys. Make sure, again, it's joe@twocrazyketos.com with your shipping information. Congratulations. You're going to get to try our brand new flavor of Keto Chow. I'm so excited.
Okay. First one, this is kind of dials into today's title, which I'm sure is frustrating people.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I can read this one.
I'll read this one.
Are you sure you can read it?
Yes. I've got glasses.
Okay, good job.
I'm so frustrated. I'm a type 2 diabetic. A family member who's a medical professional just told me that as long as my blood sugar isn't around 300, I shouldn't be doing a restrictive approach. I've informed her that when my blood sugar gets above 165, I start to feel bad. So I'm wearing a CGM to make sure that I can keep it in a good range, and try to stay off my metformin if possible.
That's good.
I've had a virus the last couple of weeks, and yesterday I felt really bad. So my hubby made me some soup and later a grilled cheese, non-keto. I know he meant well, but both made my blood sugar go way up. And so I took a metformin because I felt terrible. It brought my sugar down from 180 to around 115, and then when I went to sleep. But at 3 a.m. my alarm went off because it was 53. I was trying to figure out why such a sharp decrease every time I eat regular carbs. I only went off plan 3 or 4 times in the last 3 months of having a CGM. While I'm eating clean, my blood sugar never goes below 80, but every time I have it eaten off plan, it goes crazy low at night, with or without the medication. I was asking her about this reaction, and she said it's because I'm fasting at night and I need more energy. I told her that when in ketosis, I did a 24-hour fast for autophagy, and she blasted me and said I was going to mess up my metabolism doing that. So I tried to tell her the recent research that showed calorie restriction causes more damage than fasting, and she blasted me and said, since I have all the answers, why do I even bother to ask her anything?
Why? First of all, that attitude is stinky.
Well, I have a few things to say, and I don't want to go on too long, and I want to be nice. But I can't really be nice. First of all,
be nice.
We are not doctors, nurses, or health professionals.
No.
Everything we talk about is based on our own personal experiences, what I learned going through my Master Health Coaches course, what we've learned talking to people like Dr. Berry and Dr. Boz that are like doctors, nurses, and health professionals. And my first thing that I'm going to say is this family member is a quack who does not staying with current research. And like, I would agree with them. Don't ask them. Don't discuss it.
I like that.
them.
I agree with them. Don't ask them.
Don't ask them their opinion because they're uneducated on this topic. I'm not, and I don't mean to say like they're a quack. Like, listen, I understand they're a family member, but they're uneducated on this topic. You know that this works. Okay. You know what happens. You've seen the results in your own life. You've seen the results in other people's lives. Go talk to Dr. Berry, Dr. Boz. Look, there's enough evidence out there that shows that not eating carbohydrates is the best thing if you're a type 2 diabetic. I look at Rachel's mom. She was a type 2 diabetic for over 20 years. She's no longer a type 2 diabetic. And as we shared at Ketopalooza with it, she's probably going to yell at me about, this is a woman that would go buy a Costco cake and take all the icing off of it, eat all of the icing, throw the cake out,
right,
and then pop pills to control the blood sugar spike that she just had from eating all the icing. She doesn't do that anymore.
No.
And she's got a good normal blood sugar. So the whole title, so this person just is not educated properly on this and is following old propaganda, a lot of it put out by the sugar and the drug industry. I mean, when I was growing up, listen, I remember as a kid, my mother was an oncologist. If you got diabetes, it meant you were never eating sugar again. There was no pill to help you.
You needed to make a lifestyle change.
You were never eating sugar again. And then she put the fear of God into us, you don't want to get diabetes. I didn't listen, but she did make us afraid, especially as a kid. And kids didn't have diabetes back then. So this idea of it's okay to have your blood sugar over 300, in what universe? It makes no sense. Dr. Boz's whole talk last year, and I know she's got it online, go watch it, is all about A1C and what happens when we have this high glucose. We need to keep it low. Fasting will help keep it low. Now, getting into the title today, does fasting mess up or damage our metabolism? First of all, I don't like the word mess up, and I put damage specifically because you are not damaging your metabolism. Your metabolism is designed to, when you don't eat, slow down.
Right. That's
not damaging it because that's how it's supposed to operate.
You're not damaging your car when you use a brake.
You're temporarily, that's a good analogy. You're temporarily slowing it down until you begin eating more food. That's how our body is designed to survive. Can it be fixed? Yes. By slowly eating more food, and your metabolism will speed back up. By increasing our muscle mass, our metabolism will speed back up. So all of those things will help. So can fasting damage your metabolism? Yeah, it can. Somebody's going to take that out of context because it also can help it. Okay? If you are doing long-term fasting constantly, if you are doing alternate day fasting, and then on your eating day, you're barely eating food, yes, you're probably going to slow down your metabolism. Why? You're not giving yourself enough fuel. You have to look at, on an average, how much fuel are you consuming? For most of us, that's at least 2,000 calories, which sounds high because you hear people saying eat 1,300 or 1,400 calories. That's too low for almost every single one of us.
Well, what sometimes we do is we want to do calorie restriction. We're told, don't do that. Don't do that thing. It does not work long time. Don't slash your calories because you're going to mop yourself into a corner that you cannot maintain. And so we're like, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wink, wink, fast. I'm going to alternate day fast.
You're really going to calorie restrict.
But what you're doing is you are slashing calories in a different way. You are backdoor slashing calories. You are calling it fasting, but really what you're doing is slashing your calories. It's like saying, okay, well, I'm going to eat 2,000 calories a day, but I'm going to alternate day fast. So really over the course of 2 days, I'm only going to, take in 1,000 calories a day.
Could slow your metabolism.
And that could slow your metabolism down. So remember, a lot when it comes to our health, any lies that we tell, if we are not tracking properly, like, oh, I've got to track, but like you lying in the tracking, that lie is only hurting you. If you are going to say, this is what I'm going to do, and it's like this strategy, but really it's a wink, wink, I'm trying to do something wrong, but this is how I'm going to, make it sound okay. That lie is only hurting you. So just let's be honest with ourselves, because we have to pay the price for our lies. Right. We don't ever get away with the lying, right? You don't. Ultimately, every lie I've ever told, I have gotten caught up with.
Yeah.
Right? Especially, this always happens when it comes to your health as well. Like when I lie and say, I don't need to exercise either to like stay in shape. Those kind of lies. Who pays for those lies?
You do.
I do.
So one more thing on this topic, and then we're going to move on. The thing about this is fasting going to help you? Yeah, but not extended fasting. Okay. If you're only eating a couple meals a day, that's good, but make sure you're eating enough food. And we don't count. Listen, counting calories is stupid. And I know there's people in the chat right now that are going to say you're wrong. There's people in the comments that are going to say that's not true. It is true. Don't count calories. Counting calories is stupid and it doesn't work. You want to maybe pay attention to the amount of grams of fat and protein you're eating, but don't count calories. How do I know counting calories is stupid? Because Rachel ate 500 calories a day and gained weight. So don't say it's about calories. And you can also eat 1,500 calories a day of protein. Let's say you want to eat only 1,500 calories a day and 1,300 of them are protein and only 200 grams of fat. You're probably going to have some issues. I'm not going to say you're definitely going to have it, but you're probably going to have issues because you're not giving yourself any fuel, because the only fuel is the fat when you're not eating carbohydrates. And so you're probably going to slow down your metabolism because your body's like, wait a second, not getting any fuel. You're only giving me protein. I need protein. You're going to end up possibly with higher blood sugar at that point. So there's a lot of things that come into play with this. And one of them is not counting calories. You need to just... When you're at night, don't eat. That's the best time. Go watch Dr. Boz's video.
Sun goes down.
Sun goes down. Stop eating. And the one thing that might be causing your blood sugar to drop when you are eating carbohydrates, especially if you've taken metformin, is because you've probably worked on healing your metabolism. You've probably worked on healing your insulin resistance, and now you ate carbs, so you're giving yourself metformin. But you probably don't need it. I'm not saying you definitely don't need it. So now you've got your body already releasing insulin, and then you're giving yourself a diabetic drug. That could be what's going on. You know what the best answer is? Stop eating carbs.
When you were talking about calories, I'll tell you another lie that I used to do, and I knew a couple of people that did this. Let's say my calorie count was 1,500 calories for the day. I would be like, okay, cool. And I would eat cake and pie with those calories. Like I would literally get away from any actual food, whatever I would have defined as food back then. I would just not eat that so that I had my calories all for junk food.
How'd that work out for you?
Terrible. It is not the same.
There's a difference between 100 calories of cake and 100 calories of
15
steak.
Calories, but no nutritional value is not going to fuel you energy-wise for the same, the same way. And talk about like those 1,500 calories couldn't do nothing for my hair, couldn't do nothing for my organs, couldn't do nothing for my circulation. Like, ugh.
It's 5 till. Let's move on.
Okay.
Next one from Bonnie.
Hey, Bonnie.
I'm feeling a tiny bit better emotional, mental health-wise today, and I'm trying to push myself towards the beef, butter, bacon, and egg challenge, as long as in the long run, I know it's going to be good for me. It is. Yeah. I have roadblocks I need to overcome, but it'll be okay. Excuse me, I take both breakfast and lunch with me daily, and I've not have access to a fridge or a microwave. Aside from eggs, what are some beef, butter, bacon, egg items that you would pack in a lunchbox? I've been eating gyro meat lately. I don't mind it cold, which may work if I can allow the onion, oregano, and marjoram. I'm not a huge fan of meat cookies with some sort of sauce or condiment so I'm on a very tight budget. Okay, so this is easy, very quick. Number one, I would avoid the gyro meat unless you're making it yourself, because most prepackaged gyro, in fact, everyone that I know of has bread in it. They put flour in it to help it make that shape and maintain that shape. If you're making it yourself,
And we have a recipe for it.
Yeah, then great. Making with beef and lamb, great. Marjoram, yeah, those, and oregano, you're fine having that on beef, butter, bacon, egg. We're going to be talking about that in the course. So what can you have, especially if you're cold? Have lunch meats, roast beef, things like that, bacon, jerky,
hot
dogs, beef sticks, things like that. So remember, hot dogs are pre-cooked. So if you are okay having them cold, hard-boiled eggs. So I know you said aside from eggs, but yeah, any kind of lunch meat. I always have things like beef jerky. You could even buy, if you are willing to spend the money, one of these is I'll actually make our video on how to do it, but there's a product out there called Carnivore bar, which is basically just a meat bar.
Yeah, it's like a pemmican.
Yeah. So.
Well, I also like to cook up a hot dog ahead of time and then like eat it later when it's not boiling hot. It's just like, and it's not cold. It's like, but it's already been cooked.
Right.
And I enjoy that as a hot dog.
Homesick Bucket, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Said 2,000 calories of ice cream is not the same as 2,000 calories of ground beef.
Right?
Preach.
And I totally tried to make it so. I was like, I'm going to eat 2,000 calories of Lay's chips, and that's going to be the exact same thing as something with nutrition in it, right?
Next one's from Kat.
Hey, Kat, can you meal prep during the carnivore diet, and if so, how? Do you freeze it? Do Ziploc? It last time I did keto, I just did nothing but salad mostly. Oh, are you talking about?
Well, she says, can you meal prep during the carnivore? First of all, listen, if you're eating mostly salad on keto, stop it. Stop it.
Stop it.
Okay?
Just stop it.
I'm not saying salad's bad, but especially if you're doing keto or any version of the proper human diet, your diet should be mostly meat. When someone says I'm doing vegan keto, I'm like, probably not, because there's almost no way you can do keto properly on vegan diet, because first of all, there's certain vitamins and nutrients you cannot get on the vegan diet. I'm not trying to annoy or upset a vegan, but there are certain vitamins and nutrients you cannot get without meat. It's not, can you do vegetarian keto? You can, but it's hard if you consider fish and eggs
not
vegetarian.
Right.
Okay? Some people do. Some people don't. That's another whole thing. Can you meal prep on keto or on carnivore? Yeah, you can. We do what's called meat cookies. Go get a whole bunch of hamburgers or make and just slice them up,
like
or you can buy a big chug. But pre-cook them, put them in the fridge. They're already cooked. I love meal prepping, and you'll see this with beef, butter, bacon, and egg. I just make up like 5 pounds of ground beef. I'll usually take ground beef and an 80-20 ground pork, which 80-20 ground pork is like eating bacon, by the way, because it's 80%, 20%. It works out to be a 1-to-1 ratio of fat to protein. So I will make up like 5 pounds of that and cook it up, and I just can spoon it onto my plate. So you can make beef jerky. You can pre-make hard-boiled eggs. There's a lot of things that you can meal prep.
Not only that, but we're seeing more
carnivore.
And more grab-and-go options. So, like, if you run into your local grocery store, at the front of that grocery store, like, how many times are we seeing now where it's just, like, salmon with, like, just butter garlic on top of it? Like, take it with you, and all you have to do is
pre-cook your salmon.
Heat it up. There's all kinds of, like, we're seeing a lot more where it's meat and cheese and some nuts together. So like if you're like, hey, I also need some convenience options, your local grocery store is meal prepped for you even, which is cool.
Next one's from Amanda.
Hey, Amanda, after hitting Wonderland at the end of 2021, this has been the most frustrating couple of years in my life. Not giving up, but very, very discouraged. I can't figure out what's wrong with me, and I don't want to be stuck here forever. I've done keto, ketovore, carnivore, Lion diet, just ended 90 days of triple B and E, and this is the result. I'm completely lost. Amanda, I'm going to say, okay, if you are sure the diet is tight, if your food game is on point, then look at the other things in your life, because something else is stressing you. You have done the wise and brilliant task of made it so that your food is no longer stressing you. So it is not a point of stress. It is not constantly inflaming you. So that's a good thing. That's good news. It used to be that all of the areas of your life were probably stressing you, right? So, including the food. So we got the food on point. If you can say to yourself, the food is on point, then something else is off point. The stress, the sleep, you need to move. Something is going on. There's a relationship that's eking at you. You have a life event that you are either super looking forward to or super dreading. Both of those things. My dad died the day before they were moving into a new house. That is a good thing. That is a great opportunity. They were very much looking for it.
But the stress of it, there's a good chance, caused the heart attack.
Caused the heart attack. Now, he had positioned himself health-wise to be ready to welcome a heart attack when the stressor overwhelmed him, right? So that was we're doing the opposite of that. We're like, okay, we know stresses will come, so we're trying to prepare our bodies for a stress, right? So we're ready for it. However, stress will come and it will be good or bad, and it can affect us.
The only place where the food may be an issue is if you're doing severe restriction while you're trying to lose weight.
Right.
Because if you are severely restricting, let's say you're supposed to be eating 2,000 to 2,500 calories and you're like, I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm going to drop it down to 1,500. I'm only using calories, even though I don't believe in calorie counting, because that's what everybody understands. But base this into grams of food, right? You go from 2,500 to 1,500. You drop your 20 pounds. You're like, okay, I'm where I want to go. Now I go back to 2,500. Guess what? You're going to gain weight. Yeah. The only way to get back to 2,500 is to every week over the course of 8 to 12 weeks add like 50 to 100 calories back in, and now you're going to slowly speed your metabolism back up. But if you go from 1,500 to 2,500 overnight, you're going to gain weight. And then what do? We restrict again. It ends up in a yo-yo diet. And so that's the only place. But you can always sign up for a coaching call with us as well.
Sure.
Next one's from Lynette.
Hey, Mama
Thanks for posting the short this morning on YouTube from the recipe for keto chow pancakes. I wish I already had my butterscotch packets, but I'll be purchasing those at Ketopalooza. So I had to substitute with another flavor. I can't wait to try it with butterscotch. These are crazy amazing. I baked them in my 3-inch circular silicone moons. These are going to solve a lot of problems for me, and I spend the morning traveling to different airports to get to Louisville. Folks, you've got to try these. That's what I'm eating.
I love you so
these
much,
are so
Lynette.
Good.
She is
Rachel's look
amazing.
prettier.
Yeah.
That's she does them in hearts. So I actually put this up for a different reason.
I liked Lynette's because she has silicone molds that were actually pancake shaped, and I thought that was going to be like really easy to freeze. So I didn't even realize I put them in the Amazon carts because
they're about this big.
I didn't think we had those.
Okay. Okay. What I was putting this up for is to respond to some nasty comments.
Uh-oh.
We got
a nasty comment?
Yeah.
On my thingy?
Well, I think it was actually on the mac and cheese.
Oh.
But also there was one about this.
Okay.
And somebody said stop putting up videos about recipes and then not having a written. There were actually a couple. One of them said that we're being irresponsible and we should not put up a video. If we're not willing to if we put up a video that for a recipe and it doesn't have a written recipe with it, then we should stop because we're not being very responsible. Here's the thing. Am I going to make a written recipe for the mac and cheese?
Yes, I'm irresponsible.
And for this one Rachel made? Yes. But you have your choice. We can make the video, and when I have time, I will make a written recipe video, a written recipe card for our website, or we could just not give you the video at all.
Well,
you can go back and rewatch the video and write it down.
Can I just say, no kidding, I am super thankful to the Lord that those are the types of things that I can just leave.
Yep.
I'm not picking that up. If you say to me like, I'm not gonna like you if you don't do this, then I'm gonna just assume that like you don't like me now.
Yeah.
Because I will tick you off again later. What you're telling me with that is that I am going to let you down.
Right.
So I am going to choose.
So you might not want to watch it.
I'm just going to let you down right now.
Yeah.
Because I used to be such a painfully imprisoned people pleaser.
Right.
And I just, thank you, Lord, I don't have that no more.
To answer the 50 comments that were on the mac and cheese video and a few on this, we will make a recipe card and put it on our website. When we have an opportunity.
Yeah.
It's just been a busy couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Rachel is actually even better than me because she put at least the ingredients.
I try to say.
It's a 1-minute video.
I said
just
how
rewatch
much.
the video.
Well, I put the amount in the description of it. So.
But yeah, we will make recipe cards. We just have to have time.
Yeah.
Okay, so next one we have, we're late, is from Becky.
Hey, Becky.
What are some keto must-have that you usually bring on vacation? I always have electrolytes, my red bean salt, and my sucralose. I typically also drink packs like Crystal Light with me. I've decided to cut the Crystal Light out as maltodextrin spikes my blood sugar.
So
trying to flame the replacement.
Okay, so there's one thing that goes in my suitcase
Keto brains.
Immediately, and that is my keto brains. And if you were at Ketopalooza, throw up a cartwheel. If you went ahead and got to try keto brains there in Louisville, and was I lying, or is that stuff not delicious? Now that we're done with Ketopalooza, there is a link in our description if you didn't get a chance to try it, or you're like, dude, I tried it and I should have got more. There's a discount with that link.
Yeah.
So go ahead and check that out because it really is delicious. I never go anywhere without it.
So to answer your question, first of all, I do want to say, if you like things like Crystal Light and stuff like that, those packet ones, what I would recommend, I don't use them very often, but once in a while I will, don't buy the powdered ones, buy the liquid ones.
Yeah.
Get wherever you're going, run to the store, buy the little liquid Mios and all that. Anything powdered, remember, it's got to be powdered to something. Okay, it's got to be powdered to. They got to put it on something. So most of the time it's maltodextrin. Even like Celsius, like Rachel had said, hey, Celsius has stick packs. Yeah, they do. But what they do is they actually use erythritol. And so that's why I don't use that, because I don't want the increased carbs. But what we travel with, meat sticks, carnivore crisps,
bacon
keto
jerky,
brick, Nola bars, bacon jerky. That pretty much goes with us everywhere we go.
And a lot of times, like even nuts that we like,
Yeah.
because usually if you on traveling, they're much higher in price at like a gas station or the airport. Like I told him yesterday, I wanted just some almonds when we were waiting. It was like $6 for like a teeny tiny nothing.
Yep.
So it's crazy.
Kimberly, first day with the
Kimberly.
CGM. My dawn phenomenon was higher than I expected. No food or drink. I shot up to 150 reading. I just wanted to mention this because CGMs, just remember, you're looking more at like overall time. It may be higher than your blood, especially when you sleep. But you want to have a dawn phenomenon. It's okay if your dawn phenomenon goes to 150. It's where are you the rest of the day? Yeah. Don't worry about the 150 number if it's your dawn phenomenon. Everybody experiences a dawn phenomenon. There's no way to get rid of it, and you don't want to get rid of it. Dr. Berry has talked about that.
Yeah, he had a great talk about that in Louisville.
Homesick Buckeye.
Hey!
Thanks for the $5 super chat that
Thank
I
you.
mentioned in a video that I ate some White Castles and I got death threats.
Wow. I mean, it's some people just like, they're like, they need you to know they're angry. Yep. And it's like, noted, but I'm not doing anything with it. I mean, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with your anger? Yeah. I don't want to carry it around. I got my own baggage, okay?
Next one's from Katie.
Hey, Katie. So my husband is not keto, and he has all kinds of full foods in the house. I have zero cravings for any of these foods, even when I want to stress eat. However, the one food that calls to me is bananas. If he has bananas sitting on the counter, I so want one. I haven't eaten one. I just cannot figure out why bananas is the only carb food I crave. It is wild cravings in it.
It could be, I want to get to the chat.
Yeah.
It could be, it's just it's a subconscious memory. Or it could be your body's craving potassium, maybe an avocado, or use like some Element or something like that. But here's my suggestion, and this is not just for Katie, but for everybody. If there are foods in your house that you cannot get rid of because of other members in your house, put them in a place where you don't see them on a regular basis.
Yeah.
For us, we told our kids, you want to have your foods, fine. It goes in your room or on the bottom shelf that is not eye level to me. Tell your husband, you can have your bananas. We're not keeping them on the counter. I'm going to put them in a cabinet. It's your husband. You should understand it. Lovingly have conversations with the loved ones that you are sharing your house with, your apartment with, and say, listen, I need to be successful. I'm not telling you can't have it. I'm asking you to keep it out of sight so that I don't see it.
It helps if it's something like where you can come and say, like, it's one thing.
Right.
You know, like, this is your one thing. If sometimes, you know, it could be challenging. It's like, I need you to not have any toiletries in our bathroom, Joe, because, like, I need all of the counter space in the bathroom.
Which you do take all the counter space.
I've gotten so much better. I've gotten so much better.
3 drawers. I have a quarter of 1 drawer.
Okay. How much of my stuff have I put away, though?
A lot.
Recently.
All of it.
It is very...
Our counter actually looks awesome now. High five.
No, you're not... Well, I have to give a high five. It's part of our
Let's move
vows.
on.
But, like, I've gotten... But what...
You have gotten awesome.
But my point
Me,
is...
not so much.
My point is, if you just have 1 or 2 things that you're like, these are the most, like, the hardest things for me to deal with, then most of the time your loved ones will be like, okay, I'll put that out of sight.
You're
in trouble.
I know. Next one's from Andy.
Hey, Andy.
Question on beef, butter, bacon, egg. Are there good substitutes for sauces, dips, mayo, or meat, or for meat or eggs? Or is it part of this to try to not use anything like it? You can use butter mayo, which we have. It's actually where
mayo.
Our butter mayo recipe actually spawned out of beef, butter, bacon, egg. Sitting around in the house talking to Dr. Barry, like, what if we made mayo with butter?
He was like,
and
let's do
like,
that.
Yeah, you should make that recipe. So that's where it came from. You can use mustard.
Some hot sauce.
You can use hot sauce. So 0 carb sauces
are
okay. And I mean 0 total carb sauces. I don't mean 0 net carb sauces. You can't use
Sweet Baby Ray's.
Because even if it's 0 net carbs, it has a sweetener in it.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much mayonnaise, mustard, a couple drops of hot sauce. You can also, for your eggs, you can make a hollandaise sauce, which is pretty much similar to butter mayo.
A super chat friend.
It's similar to butter mayo. It's just it's a different combination. JJ, thank you very much for the $4.99 super chat. Said shameless birthday plug for my song. Mine and Matt's is tomorrow. Don's was yesterday. I had it in the comments.
Wow! Oh my gosh! Yeah. So we're gonna say JJ and Matt.
Yes.
Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, JJ and Matt. Happy birthday to you and many more, so many more precious friends.
2 more real quick. Monica.
Hey, Monica. I started.
Go ahead.
You want me to do it? I started Keto Carnivore about 4 years ago after my doc told me that I needed to be on anti-inflammatories for the rest of my life. Through 2KK, I discovered Keto Chow and Keto Brick a few months ago, and being a carb addict, I started using it all the time for everything. I used it for creamer in my coffee, made the pudding, did the ice cream, etc. Obviously, I was eating it several times over the day. Basically, let's face it, I use Keto Chow and Keto Brick to keep my addiction to sweets alive and thriving. And then the bathroom pyrotechnics started. It took me a while to figure out that it might be the sweeteners. It's probably the MCT oil and the Keto Brick too. A few days ago, I cut them out completely for 2 days, had a little bit of Keto Brick on day 3, and spent the better part of an hour in the bathroom right after I ate it. That was 2 days ago, and my digestion is still not 100%. Even after just eating bacon and eggs, I need to make sure the bathroom is available. Has anybody else had this problem? I'm so frustrated right now. I have a hard time asking for help, but here I am asking for your help and input.
Okay, very quickly. Monica, it is probably not sweeteners because neither of those are sweetened with something that causes gastric distress. Generally, stevia does not, nor does sucralose.
Right.
Most likely what it is you are coming to keto. Most likely, again, we're not a doctor. You are coming to keto used to eating very low fat, low sodium, because that's what standard American diet tells us is healthy, though it's not. And so you're probably not used to eating the amount of sodium and the amount of fat that you're consuming on keto.
Guess what happens when you eat salt and fat?
you get diarrhea. Now, will that fix itself? Yes, but you have to be consistent. You need to get your gallbladder, which is a muscle.
Gotta be
And
exercised.
probably a little bit in atrophy. And what happens when you don't use a muscle? It goes into atrophy, which is why so many people end up having their gallbladder removed because they were eating an extremely low-fat diet and their gallbladder wasn't having to do any work. So what happens, though, when your muscle goes into atrophy, you can fix it by starting to exercise it.
Yeah.
So we start increasing the fat, and then eventually it gets going again. Is it going to take some time? Probably. One thing that does help a lot of people is adding some gelatin to their diet. The gelatin tends to help things. You might want to just cut down a little bit on the sodium, not too much because you need salt, and maybe even cut down a little bit on the fat and slowly bring it up. So that's a good thing, chance of that's what's going on.
Yeah.
One more, I had to put this up. From Barbara.
Hey, Barbara.
I saw this and immediately thought of Rachel and Joe's most recent stops at the Buc-ee's along their way home from Tennessee. They stopped to the restroom, spent $200 on snacks and a t-shirt.
Oh my gosh, and we are not the only ones. We were listening to quite a few people who on the way to Ketopalooza stopped at different Buc-ee's and they were like, and I'm like, what did you get? And they were like, I got brisket, I got a t-shirt, I got a knick-knack, I got a sign for my house, I got a new coffee mug. Like,
people were asking
awesome.
us, did we fly or drive? And I'm like, we flew because we got a $530 flight for both of us. That's what it cost us, round trip. And
That
then we
was
rented a
crazy.
car for $130. So, which then they charged me $130 for the 3 days, and they charged me $50 because I was 1 hour late yesterday because we didn't want to leave Ketopalooza.
I didn't want to leave Ketopalooza early, and yeah, that was, yeah.
So I started going like, okay, so it would have cost about $150 in fuel, then the hotel each way, and then food. So it would have cost us about $450 to drive, plus the 14 hours in each direction. And I never took into account we really saved about $500
Easily.
by flying over driving
Because we didn't go to
we
Buc-ee's.
didn't stop at the 3 Buc-ee's that were on the way if we would have driven. Let's jump into comments. I know we're late, but I do want to
I am
address
missing
a few
all
comments.
kinds of shirts though, Joe.
First one is from Megan.
Hey,
Says,
Megan.
do you recommend flying in the day before the cruise and flying out the day after? I absolutely recommend flying in the day before. Please, with us and any other cruise, don't fly in the morning of a cruise, because what happens if your flight gets delayed or
Right.
canceled or anything like that? You always want to fly in for a cruise the night before at minimum. If you're flying across the country, especially East Coast to West Coast, you might even want to consider giving yourself an extra day to deal with time change, and so that you can fix jet lag. Jet lag doesn't affect me at all, but I know it does affect a lot of people. But definitely the night before, and get a hotel room. Out the day after, the same day, it really depends. When we travel, even when we went to Houston or something, I fly out the same day, but towards later in the day. You are pretty safe, especially with Fort Lauderdale, flying out anytime after 11 or 12 o'clock, because the cruise ship is 5 minutes from the airport.
Right, that helps.
The further away, like if you go to Houston and it's like an hour drive, you have to accommodate
Dicey.
more. But most likely you can probably get yourself off the ship by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and you will be at the airport. No problem. You might even be able to make it for a 10 o'clock flight.
I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't push it, because what if there's a delay? You know, you had a thing recently in Miami where a cruiser went missing, and so they delayed people getting off the boat while they were looking for it. That's another whole story. I don't even think he fell overboard, but that's aside the point. But yeah, flying out the same day, just towards the afternoon, not in the morning. Flight going out, I would definitely fly in the night before. What for? My husband is type 2 diabetic. He's eligible for a CGM. The insurance said the cost is the same for a G7 and the Freestyle Libre. Which is most accurate? Which is best? I'd get a Dex. If they're paying for it, get a G7. If they're paying for it, get a G7. Lynette.
Hey, Lynette.
Best thing about Ketopalooza was being in a room with 300 people that you feel are your best friends.
Yeah.
I love the community. Thanks for the love.
It just makes it so nice. And I got to tell you, one of the most heartwarming things for me was the fact that when she asked how many people this is their first time, and I would say like 40% of the room like raised their hand, like knowing that not only was it okay that this was like your first time because you weren't alone, but just knowing like, wow, this is incredible. Like there's all these new people coming to keto and coming into community. I love it.
Okay, so I need your help with this one. Rocky Mountain
Hey,
Girl.
what's
Okay,
up, girl?
Joe, I stepped out of my comfort zone. I commented in a post to someone that was an hour away from me. Never heard another thing from them. Not about to do that again.
Why? Why are you not about to do that again? Why? You got to do that again.
Has anybody ever gone on the road and seen someone asking for handouts on the corner?
Yeah.
What do they do when you say no?
They go to the next car.
And then what do they do?
They go to the next car.
And then what do they do?
Same go. Like keep going. Like keep going.
We need that attitude.
Like let's be tenacious
this wasn't
about
in person,
this.
And it's not. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. Like at Ketopalooza.
Yeah.
But like, listen, it wasn't in person. Like so they didn't respond.
Keep going. Keep going. And if you're let us know, like, what area are you in, because that we might be able to connect you with somebody that would, if your area, like, because if you say like, hey, I live in Kokomo, Indiana, I'm going to be like, okay, I know somebody that's going to want to hang out with you, Sabrina and Mark, because they're awesome.
Homesick Buckeye, thanks for the $2 super chat. Glad you guys are home safe.
I'm glad you're home safe.
And Laura, thank you very much for the $4.99.
Thank you so
super chat.
much.
I had a whole list and they're all gone. Did we go through them all? Like maybe we did.
Yeah, you're getting fast.
Well, yeah, we did kind of. Big Hocho said, I just had a salad, bacon, boiled eggs, cheese, and avocado
Yum.
oil.
That is completely breakfast for me. I am completely, and there's a lot of countries where they're like a salad for breakfast. It's fresh, it's bright. I can completely understand that.
FNP Feel Good said counting calories is stupid. I use Rachel's example whenever someone's trying to debate it with me. Currently working on a YouTube video about calories.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, it not only does it not work, but it's also not all the same. Like we're not looking at it from a proper perspective, because usually, what are you trying to do with those calories? We are not strategic, and also at the same time, if you're going to make it about numbers, then you need to make it about nutrient density as well. Let's break down those numbers. If you're saying like, hey, I want to have a 2,000 calorie diet. Okay, what is the nutrition going to be behind those 2,000 calories?
Yeah.
Like what's in those 2,000 calories? Is it mostly erythritol, or is it going to be like vitamin A, vitamin K, vitamin B? Like where's your potassium levels? Like what do those calories represent besides deprivation?
Right. Matt said calories are a measurement of heat energy. They mean nothing when it comes to food. It's a perpetual lie the medical industry has fostered for decades.
Because
because we're not an enclosed glass box.
And understand how much stuff is marketing. We don't even realize it. I mean, you watch a movie. The next movie you watch, here's a fun thing if you're looking for something to like multitask on. Watch a movie and write down products that are placed in that movie. Product placement, that because you have eyes on them, like you're looking for the Pepsi bottle, you're looking for the action toy. A fun movie to use this with is E.T. E.T. was such a concentrated effort in product placement, and this is years ago. Product placement is a thing. And so products I need to give you a reason why my package looks the way that it does. So what do they do on packages? They give you a calorie count. They're giving you a serving size. They're telling you based on, I've got to show you why I have this bag of cookies in this size of cookies.
Debbie said, going to my son's yesterday, I stopped to get gas and picked up 2 Quick Wit cheese neck sandwiches to have with my lunch there.
So good. That is Joe's absolute really favorite. He was so sad. He had like such a puss on his face. Recently, we went to this Circle K.
They stopped.
That for some reason had an upsell price
Oh yeah, they were selling
on
like $5.99. I'm
all-
like, they're good. They're not that good.
all of their stuff. So he just immediately just reached for that because when he sees them, it's such a nice treat. But he was like, not for that price. They were like charging double.
Real quick, Carrie said,
Hey,
I'm
Carrie.
still trying to figure out cheap meats. Once I get to the store again, I found I can get beef shanks to use for a cheap meat. There are plenty of cheap meats out there, Carrie.
Yeah.
There are. Ground beef is always going to be one of the cheapest beefs. And then any beef that takes a long time to cook is generally cheap. You can get a brisket type of meat. Chuck roast, which they call as a poor man's brisket, is usually very, very cheap. Pork loin is ridiculously cheap. A lot of times you can get pork loin and pork butt for like $1 a pound.
Make sure that
And eggs are still the cheapest protein with all of your nutrition out there.
make sure you are bringing your calculator with you when you go to the grocery store. Because a lot of times what we do is we look at those packages in like a single serving to us, and we're buying things by the meal, and we're saying to ourselves like, well, I don't like, if I can get this package of meat and it's only $2.99, if that big chub of hamburger has like $27 slapped on it. But think about how many meals that makes. So even though like they're packaging it to you and you're like, well, $2.99 seems like way less than $27. Is it only going to be for one meal? Or if you break it down by how many meals you know you can get out of that chub, it's better to go all in on a big thing of meat.
Sometimes when they have special meat, it's cheaper to buy a smaller package than a big package.
True.
You have to just,
but
you
keep
have to
your
figure it out.
calculator.
Right. Last one, Penny. Don't
Yes.
give up on reaching out. The person you reached out to may have to step out of their comfort zone to answer you. You never know what people are going through, so just keep moving.
So true.
It's like me. Like you could email me. I was actually talking to Russ about this. Listen, I am a busy person. I also have a bad habit. Autumn will tell you this, okay? Autumn will absolutely throw me under the bus and tell everybody this. That for me, what ends up happening is I will, wherever I can, scroll through emails. Like I get 300, 400, 500 emails. 99% of them are junk. So I scroll through and I'm like, and I just select all of the emails and I hit trash. And sometimes I accidentally highlight one that I didn't want to trash. The other thing I do is I'm at a traffic light. I shouldn't do that. But, or I'm on the dive boat or I'm out with Rachel and I have a moment and I scroll through my email and I read someone's email and I say, oh, I have to respond to that when I get home. And I forget. What I should do is unread it. Like hit the button and unread. Because I try flagging it, now I just have hundreds of flagged emails. What I should do is unread it. But I forget. So now I've read your email. I meant to respond to it, but I didn't have time right at that second because I was sitting at a traffic light or something like that. And I don't respond. It's not that I don't want to talk to you. It's not that I don't want to respond to you. I forgot. And that could happen with people. They could be like, oh, I meant to respond to that when I got home and I forgot.
Yeah.
So that is going to be this week's Keto Beyond the Couch. Now, I did not tell you this. Wednesday, not sure what time, but if you are in the group for our beef, butter, bacon, and egg challenge, we are going to do a Let's Get Ready on Wednesday.
Yay!
Live within the group. It will be posted within that group. So that will be a live for Let's Get Ready.
So excited!
Because beef, butter, bacon, and eggs starts on Saturday.
No, it's Sunday.
Sunday?
Sunday
Sunday
is the 15th, I believe.
Okay.
And we will have
by Wednesday is the good day to do it. And then we will do a weekly live stream on Mondays.
Yeah.
And then possibly, depending on our schedule, we'll do another one on this coming Sunday.
That's
as well,
what my plan was, yeah.
But we're going to do a Let's Get Ready Wednesday evening or Wednesday afternoon because I do have dive school on Wednesday. But at minimum, we can do it Wednesday afternoon or let Rachel do one. So, but that is definitely going to be on Wednesday. And then we will be back live on Thursday for our normal weekly Keto Beyond the Couch at 8:30 Eastern Time. Have a great day, guys.
We love you.